Namo Om Vishnuvare Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pachaline Nivasisha Sunyavadi Prashtatara Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sari Gaura Bhaktivinda Hare Krishna Krishna
Oh,
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram.
Ram, Hare Hare.
Okay, so let's read Bhagavatamrta, text 101. Oh, disappeared. Oh, what's happening? Okay, let's I should read the first verse and then the devotees can pick up 102.
Okay.
Okay, so uh, my mind becomes my mind becomes bewildered just trying to think of what reward other than you could be found anywhere. You are the embodiment of all benedictions, which you bestow upon these residents of the cowherd community of Vrindavan. You have already arranged to give yourself to Putana and her family members in exchange for her disguising herself as a devotee. So, what is left for you to give these devotees of Vrindavan, whose homes, wealth, friends, dear relations, bodies, children, very lives and hearts, all dedicated only to you? Okay. Who's speaking?
Brahma?
Lord Brahma is speaking to Krishna. Yes, correct. Yeah. Lord Brahma is amazed at the indescribable perfection of the Rajrasis, whose unique devotion makes Krishna completely indebted to them. Now, Krishna might ask, how can I ever become insolvent, incapable of clearing a debt? After all, he is all powerful. Whatever a person requires from him, regardless of the situation, he should be able to give. In Brahma's opinion, however, Krishna cannot repay the Rajvasis properly, not even by giving them his own self. Putana was an envious demon who took pleasure in murdering babies. Disguised as a respectable lady, she entered the company of Krishna's devotees just to kill him. Yet she obtained Krishna as her son. In other words, Krishna gave himself to her. Krishna, however, might propose that he did more for the Vrajvasis than merely give himself, because he gave himself to all their relatives as well. But this too he did for Putana, Baka, and Aga. But this too he did for but this too he did for Putana. Baka and Aga were brothers, and other demons sent to Raj by Kamsa were his close friends. And true as it may be that the main cause of their salvation was their contact with Krishna, they achieved even that contact by virtue of being related to Putana. How how favored then must Putana have been? Thus, Brahma considers inadequate Krishna's payment of giving the Vrajvasis only himself, because they have surrendered to his service, their homes and everything they have. Krishna also gives himself to demons. So, what makes pure devotional service to him more desirable than demonic behavior? Certainly, the Vrajvasis deserve better. Okay, interesting question. But just interesting point of information. My Guru Maharaj was one time was speaking about Putana and the liberation that she got. It says here that she got Krishna as her son. But the actual more details of that is that she was, she got liberated to the spiritual realm, yes, but she wasn't one of the direct um, ladies involved with Krishna directly in the household of Nanda Maharaj. Because there'd be many elders there who had that Vatsalya relationship with Krishna. But she was somehow, did have some connection, but not a direct connection with the senior mothers within the household, within immediate vicinity of Nanda Maharaj's house. So she was a bit at a distance, so to speak. But still, she saw Krishna as a loving son, and Krishna also respected her in that way. Right? So just a bit of a side information. She didn't, because of but still it is described here that the reason that she got that special mercy, just because she looked like a devotee. She dressed like a devotee, because the devotees are so dear to Krishna. Just the fact that she dressed like a Rajbasi, she got special mercy.
Prabhu, can I just ask, is this after she got killed by Krishna? She came, because you said that she was in Nanda Maharaj's house, and so after she was killed, she kind of came back into the same household? Okay. I got a bit confused there.
No, she got liberated into Vrindavan.
Oh,
she got liberated from Burma to a Gokula.
Oh, okay,
far as I understand. But she is given as she's mentioned Bhagavatam a couple of times as an extraordinary example of Krishna's extraordinary mercy.
Wow.
Difficult for us to really conceive, going from killing babies to being liberated. She didn't go to any morning programs.
She tried to kill Krishna.
Rounds. She didn't even take Diksha.
Would she have done some devotional service in her previous life to be able to get there?
Yeah. Does anyone know the backstory of Putana?
No idea.
I'm sure there is. Yeah, that's normally the case. There is a backstory. It's probably in the Gopal Champu. There is it'd be interesting. Let me just take that note down.
Did she come in the Ram Leela?
Yes, that's it. And she had motherly
feelings.
Yes. And she had motherly feelings towards Krishna.
Yes.
And
okay.
That's
okay. So she appeared as the one that Lakshman took her nose off.
The Suprakana.
Suparlika,
Okay.
I was thinking she is a sister of Bali Maharaj.
She's what?
She was married.
Sister.
She was, yes.
Of Bali Maharaj.
Yes.
The sister of Bali Maharaj.
So we're building up a backstory of Putana.
She was many things.
Yeah, so there's a pathway where she got this position. But I remember that point as well, that she had, first of all, for Bali Maharaj, she first of all had affection for him. But then when Vanmanadev took everything, then she changed and she wanted to kill him. So she had that mixed, so I remember in that situation. And in Lord Ram's Lila, she was Shrapanika, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's probably which one was first? Which Lila was first?
Ram, probably.
Ram,
no. Vamana, isn't it? Not sure.
It could be in different kalpas.
Yeah.
Different kalpas. But that's Maharaj. To get in that position to be killed by Krishna, there has to be some type of backstory, some type of mercy. There's some type, because that's quite extraordinary. Yeah, people.
She got like a motherly feeling, but from distance, not immediate, not with the senior mothers.
Yeah, that's what my Guru Maharaj said.
Yeah, but what about all those Gokul mothers who, when Krishna changed all the in Brahma Vimohan Lila, he became like he became Gopa, and he became the Vatsa, the baby cows.
So you're putting So you're saying that because perhaps she was one of those who got to suckle Krishna.
No, I was thinking all the cows, because Krishna touched them, he took milk from them straight from the mouth. And Krishna had, like when he became little Gopa and he went to the gopis, then he also sucked milk from them. In Brahma Vimohan Leela, he took the place of all the gopas and the calves when they were hidden by
Brahma, yeah.
So all those mothers, even the cows and all those gopis,
Yeah.
they would have also gone to Golok Vrindavan to become the mothers.
Yeah, I think that's a logical conclusion. Yeah, because they went to Boma and they got the special mercy of Krishna and the eternal associates. So their love would have been elevated to stages of affection and prema. And then they go to the place of affection. Yeah, but I'm just offering some philosophical speculation on that. I'm not actually quoting from scripture. Again, you'll have to look into these details, you know. So it's a good point. Did those who suckled Krishna when Krishna, when Krishna transformed as their children or their sons, then all those who were in Bhoma, they got all elevated, all got liberated to the eternal spiritual world. Okay, I think my intelligence has just hit its limit. I can't. Yeah. Anything else in this, Maharaj Kishore? Looks like something you're just going to say something.
No.
No?
I just wondered that even when Prahlad Maharaj was touched, Dhruv Maharaj was touched by a conch shell on his head, he was purified completely.
Yeah.
And here, Krishna actually touched them in whichever way. They would have been purified completely, 100%.
Oh, yeah. Let's just consider that. Yeah. When Lord Shingadev touched Prahlad's head as well, he patted his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just looked it up actually, and
Okay.
it says Putana was Ratnamali, Bali's daughter,
Okay.
in a previous life, and she had affectionate, like motherly feelings towards Vamanadev. And then Suparnika was Kubja.
Okay, interesting. So Barnacle was Kubja. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so Saparnika was Kubja. She wasn't Putana.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we've got our facts all in order. Thanks to ChatGPT, might be. Hare Krishna. All right, let's read on. Bit of a lengthy proverb. Someone like to pick up 102?
Shall I read?
Yeah, go ahead.
My dear Lord Krishna, until people became your devotees, their material attachments and desires remained plunderers. Their homes remained prisons, and their affectionate feelings for their family members remained foot shackles. Commentary. Here, Brahma responds to a question Krishna might ask. Why should the Vrajvasis expect any more from him than do the sannyasis who have renounced everything? Renunciants who have freed themselves from all material contamination obtain nothing more than Krishna. So why shouldn't the Vrajvasi also be happy by having just him? Brahma answers by reminding Krishna that material desires, like thieves, rob their victims of discernment, determination, and other assets. And the home in which one lives with spouse and children is a prison that the infatuations of love keep one forever from escaping. Successful sannyasis deserve credit for somehow avoiding these thieves and securing release from the prison of home life. The Vrajvasis, however, are much more praiseworthy because their homes, attachments, and desires, and the love they share among themselves actually free them from bondage. Brahma argues, therefore, that the Vrajvasis deserve the greater reward for their worship of the supreme than impersonal sannyasis. As we have already heard from the authoritative statements of Srimad Bhagavatam and other scriptures, the spiritual achievements of non-devotee renunciants are similar to those of demons like Kansa. Such demons intensely concentrated on Krishna while striving to destroy him. Being directly killed by Krishna elevated them to the state of liberation. Oneness with the Brahman, which in effect is attainment of the Supreme Lord, because Brahman is one of the personality of Godhead's own opulences. But there is still a great difference between this impersonal liberation and perfection Vaishnavas achieve when they gain entrance into the spiritual kingdom, Vaikuntha, and reach the lotus feet of the Lord. Brahma's apparently simple prayer can be understood in several different ways. One is that Brahma is answering a potential doubt about why the Vrajvasis, full as they are with attachments and desires, are more praiseworthy than more exemplary Vaishnavas who are renounced both in their external behavior and in the core of their hearts. Here, Brahma argues that although material attachments corrupt anyone who has not developed a personal relationship with Krishna, Krishna's devotees have learned the value of devotional service to him, and so they dovetail those same attachments in a spiritually constructive way. Without devotion to Krishna, strict sannyasis practice renunciation in vain, because ultimately none of their disciplines will bear the desired fruit. Most likely, the result of their labor will be pride and self-delusion. In contrast, the unlimited desires held by every devotee of Krishna can never be satiated, for those desires are all in the relationship with Krishna. In particular, the Vrajvasis never feel they have had enough of Krishna. Brahma's statement can also be understood as a response to Krishna's suggestion that sharing with Vrajvasis the enjoyment of unique loving exchanges, Krishna can repay them for their devotion. As Brahma points out, as long as one does not become Krishna's devotee, one remains a bondage. Thus, Krishna has a more important reason for coming to this world than just to enjoy with his friends. He displays varieties of captivating attachments and desires because he wants to entice all living beings to enter his devotional service. Therefore, since he performs his pastimes not for the satisfaction of his devotees, but for the purpose of his own, why should the Vrajvasis consider his debt to them repaid just because he plays with them? Still another explanation of Brahma's statement, when one reads its grammar differently, is that Krishna will be anxious until everyone in the universe becomes his devotee. Until then, Krishna's attachments and desires will be like thieves that rob him of his mental equilibrium and self-satisfaction, and his abodes in Vaikuntha and elsewhere will be like prisons, because the company of those who constantly live with him will restrict his freedom. The special affection he has for Mahalakshmi and others in Vaikuntha will be like foot shackles that restrict his movement and prevent him from always enjoying the company of his dearest devotees. He will not feel the ecstasies of intimate reciprocation, therefore, but only the pains of separation. Thus, Brahma predicts that after Krishna leaves the Vrajvasis to go to Mathura, he will always feel separation from them and always remain indebted.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Mother Anupama. You're a graffiti artist. You put on Anuto, and it said your name came up. You see, you got this green on this you got this here on the screen.
Yeah.
That's I think you did that by mistake. It's Anuto because your name came up. Don't worry, it's not a big thing. Just
So sorry.
It's okay. Just in case you didn't know. But would anyone like to try and give a little synopsis of what we just read? I got quite confused with it. I'm a little bit confused about what's being presented here. Anyone else can actually shed some light on it? Seem to be making a distinction between not a devotee sannyasi, but a Gyani sannyasi, as composed to householder devotees. Seem to be making a distinction there that they're obviously much more highly better situated, even though they're in the shackles, so-called shackles of family life, because where is it? Here Brahma argues that although material attachments corrupt anyone who has not developed a personal relationship with Krishna, Krishna's devotees have learned the value of devotional service to him, and so they dovetail those same attachments in a spiritually constructive way. Without devotion for Krishna, strict sannyasis practice renunciation in vain, because ultimately none of their disciplines will bear the desired fruit. Anyways, any other kind of what's the word that Vaisheshika uses? Not comment, but any anything that stuck out? Anything needs. Okay, a little bit technical thing. Sanat Goswami is getting into quite some details. Okay, let's read 103. Anybody out there?
Yeah, I can read.
Go ahead, 103. Let's just check the purple. Okay, it's relatively short. Go ahead.
103. My dear master, although you have nothing to do with material existence, you come to this earth and imitate material life just to expand the varieties of ecstatic enjoyment for your surrendered devotees. Commentary. Krishna might explain that he comes to Braj not only to enjoy pastimes with his devotees, but also to become their relative. In this way, by imitating the ways of material life, he intends to increase the ecstasy of his devotees. But Brahma thinks that merely putting on a superficial show of being a son or other family member is not enough to absolve his debt to the Vrajvasis, or else Brahma's statement, if reinterpreted as a rhetorical question, asks whether Krishna, becoming the son or other relative of the Vrajvasis on earth, isn't in fact an illusion, a false show. The answer Brahma implies is, of course not. Krishna proves the seriousness of his intentions. He shows that he intends to enlighten, not delude, by displaying before Mother Yashoda his universal form, and in other ways revealing to his devotees his identity as the Supreme Lord. And not only the Vrajvasis, but anyone who comes in contact with Krishna is relieved of material delusion, for Krishna cannot hide his true nature from his devotees. Krishna comes to the earth to share with his devotees the highest degrees of ecstasy, whereas on other planets like Svarga, the corresponding exchanges, such as those between Aditi and her son Vamanadev, are hampered by over-awareness of his supremacy. If even in Vrajbhumi Krishna were known to be God, then how would he ever repay his debt to the Vrajvasis? His attempts to bestow the highest ecstasy on them would be frustrated, just as on Svargaloka. By Krishna's inconceivable potencies, devotees who dedicate themselves fully to Krishna, who abandon themselves to the control of Krishna Prem, lose all attachment to material things. They then give up the main causes of delusion, their family entanglements, and the affection for relatives and friends. But although Krishna's association makes material life dissolve, Brahma tells Krishna, for certain very special devotees, you create an illusion, vidambayasi, by increasing their attachments and desires. Thus you, O Krishna, who are Prabhu, capable of doing anything, expand the vast ocean of ecstasy for your devotees on earth, something you never do in Vaikuntha. Krishna's fully surrendered devotees accept all their worldly assets as his Mahaprasad and maintain their attachments only for his sake. Thus, their possessions and attachments, which fill them with the variegated sweetness of Bhajanananda, the supreme bliss of pure devotional service, do nothing but enhance their spiritual lives. What can Krishna do for such exalted devotees? He can only remain in debt to them.
Okay. Any comments on that, Mother Lavangalatika, while you was reading that? Anything that struck you?
Just the fact that Krishna appears to have a debt, be indebted, and there's no way of paying it back. So that it just shows how Krishna, the devotees are so dear to Krishna, like that he is. Yeah, the love. It just like Krishna's love is so intense for his devotees that he actually thinks that he can't repay it.
Yeah.
Their love. Yeah. Although Krishna's love, I'm sure, is a lot greater than the devotees' love. Krishna's love for his devotees is probably much, much greater than the devotees' love in any case, because Krishna is the greatest lover. So
yeah, there's
still he's indebted.
Yeah, that's very valuable. You've helped me to perhaps kind of understand more the point of these last couple of verses. It's this point, na parayaham, na parayaham. It says a verse in the Gopi Gita, which Krishna actually he explicitly states that he cannot repay them. Their love is so deep and so intense that he cannot think of any way he can actually repay them. So let their own devotional service be to be satisfied with their devotion to him. So yeah, this is the discussion that's being brought out by Lord Brahma. And one way that the devotees, they are superior to Krishna in the sense that their love is one-pointed. They have one-pointed love for Krishna. But Krishna's love is variegated because he has many devotees. So he doesn't have one-pointed love for. That's how it's described in my Guru Maharaj's book, the Nat Parayaham, based on the commentaries of the Acharyas, that the devotees have exclusive love for Krishna, but Krishna loves many, 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 many devotees. It's not exclusive. So from that perspective, the love of devotees is considered to be more exalted from that perspective. So that's probably why Krishna's statement, na parayaham, I cannot possibly repay the love of my devotees because their love is one-pointed, but my love is very much to many, many devotees. But then that's without discussing the subject of Krishna's love for Radha as a whole. another whole dimension. But anyway, yeah. Anybody else? Any comments on this? Yes. If devotees of there's a couple of devotees just joined us, she might have joined thinking that we're doing Sudha Bhakti Chintamani, but there's been a mistake in that regard. So we'll be starting on the 19th of June. But we'll clarify things. I'm sure Chandravali will clarify that.
29th
Okay.
June.
19th.
Oh, it said 29th on the poster.
Yeah, that's wrong. That's, yeah, you perhaps you came in a bit later. The 29th, the Thursday, the 29th of June doesn't exist. There is no Thursday.
Oh, okay.
There is no 29th of June is Sunday. So we're starting on the 19th.
Okay. Nice. Thank you.
From Hare Krishna. Okay, let's continue reading 104. Someone like to read? Yeah, this is a well-known verse from Lord Brahma. I recognize this one. Any readers out there?
I can read again if you like.
Yeah, now let's see it. Brother Gayatri, are you available to read, or are you in a car, on a bus?
I can read.
Okay, go ahead, yeah.
Which one? 104?
Yes.
Yes, text 104. There are people who say, I know everything about Krishna. Let them think that way. As for me, I do not wish to speak very much about this matter. O my Lord, let me say this much. As far as your opulences are concerned, they are all beyond the reach of my mind, body, and words. Commentary. There are three ways to understand the purpose of this statement by Brahma. First, he is declaring the unimportance of jnana and the superiority of bhakti. Second, he began his prayers by focusing on the supreme object of praise, namely the transcendental form of the personality of Godhead. As his prayers went on, he digressed to deal with various doubts. And now, having solidly justified his aim of glorifying Krishna's opulences, he is returning to his original topic. Or third, after drinking from the vast nectar ocean of the glories of the Supreme Lord and the Vrajavasis, Brahma cannot help but laugh at those who think they know those glories. According to the first of these understandings, Brahma here addresses the seekers of knowledge. He ironically encourages them to pursue that goal if that is what they want. He has no desire to argue with them or spend any more time proving bhakti more important than jnana. He wants only to state that the unlimited, inconceivable greatness of pure devotion to Krishna lies beyond the scope of his body, mind, and words. And he implies, compared to bhakti, mere knowledge and whatever is achievable with the help of that knowledge are of limited value. In the second understanding, we hear Brahma call Krishna Prabhu, a word derived from the verb prabhu, to manifest in an exceptional way. The idea is that Krishna has appeared as the perfection of all beauty and all other attractive qualities, unequaled by anyone else. Thus, the physical opulence of Krishna's beauty is both incomprehensible to Brahma's mind and indescribable by his words. Or, reading the grammar another way, the opulences of Krishna's body, mind, and words are all unexcelled. And just as the intent of Krishna's mind and words are unpredictable, so are his physical activities. According to the third understanding, because Brahma's prayers repeatedly refer to the glories of the Vrajavasis, here his statement can be understood to be a glorification of their opulences. O Prabhu, possessor of unlimited various energies, the glories of these residents of Vraja are beyond the reach of my body, mind, and words. Even while Brahma physically composes the words of the Vedic literature, he cannot mentally grasp the extent of the greatness of the Vrajavasis. Brahma is the Supreme Lord's Guna avatar. As such, he has a transcendental body endowed with all potencies. One should expect him, then, to be able to comprehend these glories, somehow or other. But the fact is that he cannot. For this purpose, the powers of his body, mind, and words are insufficient.
Okay, thank you. Something to consider, because Lord Brahma created the whole material universes. And he did a pretty good job, didn't he? Creating planets by the use of the ingredients given to him by Krishna, of course. Krishna is, Atrasaga Visagascha. And then from those elements, but still, Lord Brahma, he created millions of universes, etc., and all. But he cannot comprehend the glories of the Vrajavasis. So that's what Sanatana Goswami is bringing up at the end. And this part here, speaking about the Gyanis, those people say, I know everything about Krishna, so let them think that way. So referring to Gyanis, because a devotee would never make such a statement. I know everything about Krishna. Yeah. So this is Sanatana Goswami is pointing this out. This is referring to Gyanis. So let them think that way. Let them do as they wish. As for me, I don't want to try and, I don't want to try and speak very much. It's all beyond my mind, body, and words. And this comes after Brahma Vimohan Lila, I think, this verse, where Brahma gets completely embarrassed and bewildered by Krishna's potencies. So then he says this verse, it's all beyond me. It's beyond the reach of my mind, body, and words. And that's Lord Brahma. He happens to be a very intelligent person. Yeah. Any other comments on this? Again, amazing Sanatana Goswami is expanding on these verses in such a wonderful way. By using Sanskrit. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. I was just thinking there are so many people when we meet on book distribution. I know about Krishna. I know about Krishna.
Yeah, it's a common statement of a lot of Hindu people, isn't it? I know.
Yeah. I know everything. I'm reading every day. I know everything.
Yeah. You should say,
So can we refer to them as well?
Yeah, so you don't know anything. Yeah. Yeah, they say that. What, if Lord Brahma doesn't know anything, what to speak of Mr. Patel who's shopping in Tesco? Yes. Yeah. All right. Anyone like to read the next verse, 105? Yeah.
I can read, Prabhu.
Go ahead.
One note page we had to change. Yeah.
Here you go.
Thank you. My
Maybe
dear.
check the length of the purple because we might.
Oh yeah.
Okay, go on. Yeah.
My dear Krishna, I now humbly request permission to leave. Actually, you are the knower and seer of all things. Indeed, you are the Lord of all the universes. And yet, I offer this one universe unto you. Commentary. Now that Brahma's prayers have evoked the Lord's mercy, Brahma's false conception of being Lord of the universe has been erased, and he has achieved the priceless treasure of utter humility. Thus, he considers himself unfit to stay near the Vrajavasis very long. Fearing he might commit more offenses, he requests permission to return to his own home. Krishna knows everything, including his own greatness and the fallen condition of persons like Brahma. Brahma, therefore, realizing his inability to offer prayers to Krishna, properly asks to be allowed to leave. This verse can also be...
Just one thing here, Mother. So, remember yesterday we was reading about Lord Brahma, and he he was hesitant. He didn't even see himself fit to even desire to have a position like that of the Brajavasis. And he was wanting to be just a dust, so he get the dust, so they might tread on him in the form of dust. So here, even so, Lord Brahma, he's asking to leave Vrindavan in his great humility. Yeah. Now, that's quite interesting. We shouldn't want to leave Vrindavan once you get there, because he's not in the form, because he doesn't have a form of a Gopa or a Gopi. He's in this demigod form. He's got 4 heads, so that probably also plays a factor as well. He doesn't feel himself qualified. So he's asking to leave. Anyway, sorry, I'll carry on. Just wanted to point that out. Just to remind us of a reading about Lord Brahma yesterday in his great humility.
Okay. This verse can also be understood as Brahma's reply to a potential request from Krishna. That Brahma further describes the glories of Krishna's beauty and other qualities of devotional service to him, and of his devotion and of his devotees who reside in Vraj. Anticipating such a request from the Lord, Brahma asks in astonishment whether Krishna actually knows everything about his own glories or not. By asking such a question, Brahma implies that Krishna, though supposedly omniscient, doesn't know his own endless glories in full. Or, understanding this verse was another way, Krishna might ask Brahma why he now wants to leave, just after praying for any birth in Raj. Why not simply stay here and delight Krishna's ears with more descriptions of Vraj's glories? Brahma answers that Krishna, knowing everything, knows that it will be difficult for Brahma in his present 4-headed body to stay in Vraj, and very difficult for him to change that body before his destined to Parartha life is finished. Thus, Krishna knows that Brahma in his present life will not get the opportunity to bathe in the dust of the feet of the residents of Raj. And Krishna knows how embarrassing it would be for Brahma to try to describe the glories of those great devotees, a task for which Brahma is altogether unfit. Moreover, Krishna himself is so much in debt to the Vrajavasis that he is totally under their control. Their loving devotion alone attracts him, and his dislike spending even a moment doing anything else than indulging them with his pleasure pastimes. Certainly, Krishna, the only source of happiness for Vraj, knows all this. So, why should Brahma stay just to tell Krishna what he already knows? Or Krishna might be asking Brahma why he submitted prayers without fully considering the complexities of his request. After all, isn't Brahma the creator of the universe? Shouldn't he know everything? No. Brahma answers, only you are omniscient. The knowledge of the lesser persons like me is limited. Or taking the word sarvadrik to mean, one who makes everyone sees, who gives all living beings their ability to perceive. Brahma prayed only as inspired by Krishna, the Lord of his heart. Whatever Brahma said, therefore, is not to his own credit or blame. Any credit,
Okay.
Any credit desired for these prayers belong to the Lord who inspired them. And if there is anything wrong with the prayers, their puppet-like speaker should not be blamed. Krishna certainly knows all this very well. Krishna might retort that what Brahma says is true for a mere servant, but Brahma is much more than a servant. Brahma is the Lord of the universe. No, Brahma replies, you, Krishna, are Jagannath, the real world of the universe. Neither Brahma nor any other jiva should be called the Lord of the universe. Everyone is Krishna's servant. Still, Krishna might ask, am I the Lord of the universe? You are the grand desire. grandsire of the entire visible cosmos, and its rulers are your sons and grandsons and their descendants. How then are you my servant? Brahma, using the word arpita to mean placed within, answers this question by saying that since the whole universe is within Krishna, Tava Arpitam, all creation is subordinate to him, or taking Tavarpitam to mean placed by you. It is only because Krishna skillfully placed the universe under Brahma's authority that the universe seems to be Brahma's. And suppose Krishna were to admit that he himself is the Lord of the universe and that everyone in the universe is therefore his servant. Why then did Brahma condemn non-devotees with such gusto? And why did Brahma praise devotion to the Lord as something exceptional and beg so enthusiastically to become one of the Lord's servants? Why in particular did he pray for any birth in Raj? What difference should all this make to Brahma if anyone in the universe is already a servant of the Supreme Lord? Brahma answers, of course, everyone is naturally your servant, subordinate to your control, but a servant with pure love for you is one of Bhakti's special forms, has a super excellent status. Such a position rarely achieved is something everyone should strive for, and because service to you in pure love cannot be achieved without complete surrender. I surrendered everything I have unto you. Saying this, Brahma offers the universe he considers his own, and the body he considers himself all to Krishna, and he offers his prayers hoping that will please Krishna. Everything that exists belongs to Lord Jagannath and is known to him, but that same Lord has directed Brahma from within, thus inspired Brahma like an infant bird chewing again what its mother has already chewed, offers this universe, together with his personal realization, hoping that Krishna will accept this offering like a kind parent and excuse him for requesting something impossible. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Hare Krishna. I'm just remembering also that the gopis didn't think much of Lord Brahma because he created eyes that blink. You know, that's also there in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Lord Brahma's position has been shown in the relationship to Krishna. Okay, so I'd like to continue. 106.
I can read if nobody.
Yeah. Continue the transcendental sound vibrations.
Yeah. Actually, I was listening to Burijan Prabhu talking about Indra and Brahma today. Anyway.
Okay.
106. My dear Shri Krishna, you bestow happiness upon the lotus-like Vrishni dynasty and expand the great oceans consisting of earth, the demigods, the brahmanas, and the cows. You dispel the dense darkness of irreligion and oppose the demons who have appeared on this earth. O Supreme Personality of Godhead, as long as this universe exists, and as long as the sun shines, I will offer my obeisances unto you. Commentary. In this last verse of his prayers, Brahma begs leave of his master and compares him to both the sun and the moon. Krishna is like the sun because he gives joy to the flowering lotus of the Vrishni dynasty. He is like the moon because he nourishes the earth, demigods, brahmanas, and animals. And he is like both the sun and the moon because he counteracts the darkness of irreligion just by appearing on earth. Krishna checks the power of Rakshasas like Kamsa. Having said all that, Brahma reconsiders. Comparing Krishna to the sun and the moon fails to do him full justice. Thus Brahma comments further that Krishna deserves the worship of everyone, including the sun, Arkam. And finally, Brahma offers his obeisances unto Krishna and promises to continue bowing down the same way until the end of the millennium, Akalpam. which lasts the full length of his day. Thus, by chanting Krishna's holy names with great devotion and by summarizing the manifold purposes of Krishna's descent on earth, Brahma in this last prayer offers the best glorification he can muster. Krishna's birth in the Vishnu dynasty brought with it all signs of promises for the world's good fortune, just as the rising sun drives away the darkness of the night and awakens the sleeping lotuses. Krishna's appearance assured Vasudeva and Krishna's other relatives and devotees that the demons who oppressed them would soon be destroyed. As described by Sri Sukadeva Goswami in Srimad Bhagavatam 10-17, while carrying the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead within the core of his heart, Vasudeva bore the Lord's transcendentally illuminating effulgence, and thus he became as bright as the sun. He was therefore very difficult to see or approach through sensory perceptions. Indeed, he was unapproachable and unperceivable, even for such formidable men like Kamsa, and not only Kamsa, but all living entities. Similarly, when the demigods come to glorify Mother Devaki, they tell Krishna, who is in her womb, "O Lord, we are fortunate because the heavy burden of the demons upon this earth is at once removed by your appearance. Indeed, we are certainly fortunate, for we shall be able to see upon this earth and in the heavenly planets the marks of your lotus, conch, club, and disc that adorn your lotus feet." Bhagavatam 10-38. The demigods also tell Devaki, "O Mother Devaki, by your good fortune and ours, the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, with all his plenary portions, such as Baladeva, is now within your womb. Therefore you need not fear Kamsa, who has decided to be killed by the Lord. Your eternal son, Krishna, will be the protector of the entire Yadu dynasty." And while describing the conditions on the earth when Krishna was about to be born, Sukadeva says, decorated with towns, villages, mines, and pasturing grounds, the earth seemed all auspicious. Of course, when the earth prospers, everyone and everything on the earth automatically prosper, including the Yadavas, the Brahmanas, and all domestic animals. But Brahma considers it his duty to highlight the significance of Krishna's special compassion for the cows and the Brahmanas in this avatar. Pure love for Krishna was bestowed upon Brahma by Krishna himself. For this, Brahma next expresses his gratitude. Uddhama can be understood to mean the higher principles of religion, or in other words, the obligation of individual religious duties. By manifesting the Raslila and other pastimes, Krishna removed the gopis' ignorance and fear, along with the dark night time of such restrictive dharma. When Brahma offers this prayer, Krishna's conjugal pastimes with the gopis have not yet taken place. But Brahma knows past, present, and future, and so speaks of these pastimes as if they were already occurred. Or we can take the meaning of Uddhama in another way. The prefix Ud can mean away from. So Uddhama denotes false principles that lead one away from dharma or religion. Real religion is devotional service to Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam 11-19-27, Krishna himself says, Dharma mad bhakti krit prokta. True religious principles, it is said, are those that lead one to my devotional service. Uddharma, therefore, is whatever deviates one from true dharma. Pure devotional service to Krishna, whether the deviation be by jnana, karma, or anything else. Although the dharma of pure bhakti is eternal and inviolable, it is sometimes hidden like a lost treasure, sitting deep in a cave, unnoticed even by visitors of the cave, because extraneous objects cover it from view. All deviant religious matters then are forms of darkness, but Krishna's appearance has driven them all away. By descending to earth, Krishna has brought back to the light of day and perfect religion of devotion to him. Like Rakshasas who roam at night and eat men, persons who move about in the darkness of deviant, dharma tried to obstruct the path of bhakti, on which every living being depends for his eternal welfare. These deviants, karmis and jnanis, mostly live on the planet Earth, also known as Karma Bhumi, and so Brahma refers to Krishna as Kristi Rakshasa Srunk, the violent opponent of such Rakshasas on earth. Also present on earth are other Rakshasas, namely enemies of the Vrishnis and enemies of other devotees of the Lord. Enemies like Kamsa and his cohorts, and demons like Sankachuda and Arista.
We okay just to read to the end of this commentary?
Oh my God, it's quite a bit yet. Just this paragraph?
You've only got, well, at least as it comes up on the screen here, it's just 1.5 pages.
Okay.
Do you want me to just finish off? Sorry, I've got the wrong glasses on, so I can finish off them if you want.
Okay. Yeah, just yeah.
Is it as
why not?
As Brahma? Yeah.
Yeah, but just one thing. Sanat Goswami's given a wonderful elaboration on the first verse of Bhagavatam. No, the second verse. Dharma Prajitta Kataiva Trapanamoni Amatsalanam Satam. So Bhagavatam is establishing actually what is true Dharma. And the true Dharma or true religion is based on the principle of complete surrender. Sawadhamam Vyachatya. And so Sanat Goswami is really highlighting Krishna's appearance here on earth. Is showing what is actually true religion, which is that which is performed by the residents of Brhad. That's actually true religion.
Total surrender.
Yeah, total surrender. Okay, go on, you can finish one.
Yeah, as Brahma indicates by the word Arhan, deserving, only Krishna is capable of performing such deeds in the defense of eternal religion. In his expanded forms of Godhead, Krishna may possess the same complete potencies, but only Krishna himself reveals the ultimate extent of his supreme powers. Thus, he is the right person to perform pastimes for the deliverance of the earth. Pastimes never shown even by Lord Narayan or any of his incarnations. By acting as an enemy of relatives, like his maternal uncle, Kamsa, Krishna seems to oppose the religious principles and duties prescribed by the Vedas for pious men, and this may cause some doubts. Brahma, however, denies the validity of such doubts by referring to Krishna as Bhagwan, the all-merciful Lord. Krishna acts as he does solely for the benefit of everyone, even his antagonists. Although persons dedicated to karma and jnana harbor within themselves the nature of demons, Krishna deals with them in a way that rectifies their miserable asuric mentality, and to the most vicious demons like Kamsa, Krishna is even more merciful to them. He gives liberation by killing them with his own hands. Srila Siddhara Swami in his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, gives another explanation of the words Arhan Bhagwan Namaste. You deserve the worship of everyone, because now even those who were dedicated to karma and jnana, persons like Akura and Bhishma, have entered the path of bhakti. Avowed demons like Kamsa have also resorted to your devotional service by absorbing themselves in thoughts of you in moods like fear. While these demons inwardly meditated on you as their enemy, externally they were unable to exercise their natural demonic propensities and so became inactive, like dead men. By killing them, you brought them back to life and gave them liberation. Even while the killing of Kamsa and other demons is yet to happen, Brahma feels free to describe such events as if they have already occurred. Had Krishna never performed such feats of delivering the non-devotees, Brahma implies, Krishna would not be worshipable by everyone. As Brahma, drowning in a sweet ocean of Prem Rasa, prepares to leave Raj, he offers his homage not only to Krishna, but to all the Rajvasis. The least important of all species of trees growing in Raj is the Arka. Vaishnavas have little regard for that tree because it produces nothing useful for the Supreme Lord's worship. Yet Brahma's obeisances to everyone in Raj extend even to the Arka trees. Brahma says, I bow down to you, Krishna, and to everyone living in your abode, whether moving or non-moving. These final words match the mood of his earlier prayer, Tat Bhuri Bhagavan Iha Janma Kim Api Atvayam. I would consider it my greatest fortune to take any birth, whatever, in this forest. Bhagavatam 10:14-34. In effect, Brahma says, because all the residents of this forest, even the Arka trees, are better devotees of Krishna than I. They deserve my homage. I have no right to expect a birth here like any of them. I should pray for less ambitious blessings. O all wonderful Krishna, I can never offer adequate obeisances to you. Thank you.
Carry on. That's it. Okay, wonderful, huh? Thank you, everyone. And perhaps what we can do is, while we're waiting before Sudha Bhakti Chintamani on the 19th, we can just continue this on a Wednesday and Thursday, yeah? We can make good progress through Bhagavatamrta. Yes.
I think it will be nice because we know what's happening yesterday, and then it will be easy to continue.
Yeah. We can, yeah. Yeah, great. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.